Hi everyone, welcome back to the Mahavani Diaries. I'm so excited to share this with you today because it's a game changer for anyone who loves tarot and oracle, or really any kind of spiritual guidance. We're diving into something that might just transform how you approach your readings. And here's the kicker, it's not about doubting yourself, it's about empowering yourself to use both your intuition and logic in harmony. And that's what I call real discernment. Before you watch another reading, seriously pause before you dive into the next one. You'll want to hear this. Today we're talking about the Ladder of Inference, what it is and how it sneaks into our interpretations and how you can use it to stay grounded and get the most out of your readings. Think of this as a little cheat sheet for navigating the mental steps we all take when we interpret anything, especially something as layered and intuitive as a card spread. Let's get into it. So, what is the Ladder of Inference? Imagine a ladder where each rung represents a step our mind takes to go from raw observation to belief, and then action. It's a concept developed by Chris Argyris. Please forgive me if I butchered his name. I've never had to say it out loud. I've only had to read it. He basically created this Ladder of Inference to help us understand how we make sense of things, especially when emotions, spirituality, and our personal biases are involved. Let me walk you through it in simple terms. At the bottom of the ladder, we're just observing raw data, raw information. As we climb, we start picking out specific details that catch our attention. Then we add meaning to those details, often influenced by our past experiences or beliefs. From there, we make assumptions, draw conclusions, form beliefs, and eventually take action. This process happens so fast that we're often not even aware of it. But once you start to be aware of it, it's like getting a secret key to unlocking how you think and interpret. Let me give you an example. Picture this. You're doing a reading and the Tower card comes up. What happens next? Well, here's how the Ladder of Inference might play out. First, you observe the card. There's the Tower, the lightning, the falling figures. Next, you focus on those dramatic elements, the crumbling structure, the chaos. Then you start adding meaning. The Tower represents sudden change, maybe upheaval or destruction. From there, you might assume it's a warning about something in your life. You draw a conclusion. Something bad is going to happen. That conclusion becomes a belief. I'm about to face a disaster. And finally, you act on that belief. You might feel anxious, cancel plans, or try to avoid what you think the card is predicting. But here's the thing, the Tower card isn't always about disaster. Sometimes it's about breakthroughs, about clearing out what no longer serving us to make way for something better. When you understand the Ladder of Inference, you can pause and ask, am I jumping to conclusions? What else could this card mean? It's not about dismissing your intuition. It's about broadening your perspective so you can see the full picture. Now, let's talk about something we all experience, cognitive biases. These are little mental shortcuts our brains take, and while they're not inherently bad, they can definitely influence how we interpret a reading. One big one is confirmation bias. This happens when we subconsciously seek out interpretations that validate what we're already believing. For example, if you've been feeling uneasy and you pull a challenging card like the Five of Swords, you might automatically interpret it as a confirmation of that anxiety, even if other cards in the spread are pointing towards revolution or healing. Then there's a negativity bias. Our brains are wired to focus on potential threats. So we might zoom in to the difficult aspects of a reading and miss the opportunities for growth and insight. And let's not forget about the Barnum effect. Those vague statements that feel deeply personal, even though they could apply to almost anyone, sometimes we hear a reader say something like, "You may be feeling conflicted," and we might take it as a specific message for us. It's worth pausing and asking, does this actually resonate, or am I just making it fit? And of course, there's the self-fulfilling prophecy. If you interpret a reading to mean that something is bad or it's going to happen, you might unconsciously start behaving in ways that make it more likely. For example, if you believe a card is predicting relationship trouble, you might act more defensively with your partner, creating tension where there wasn't any. Now, none of this is about doubting yourself. It's about giving yourself tools to stay grounded and centered. Recognizing these patterns isn't meant to take the magic out of readings. It's meant to enhance it. It's like having a compass that helps you navigate the energy and the message with clarity. When you're doing a reading or watching one online, pause and let the message settle. Not everything requires immediate action. Sometimes a card's message is preparing you for something down the road, not urging you to act right now. Balancing intuition with logic is so important here. Tarot and oracle readings are incredible tools, but they're just that, tools. You're the one steering the ship. And one last thing, always remember that readings are meant to support you, not define you. They're here to provide insight, not box you into a specific outcome. If something resonates, take it with you. If it doesn't, leave it behind. Trust what you need will come at the right time and the right place. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this resonates with you, please subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you stay grounded in your readings and what tools you use to navigate your own spiritual journey. And remember, Mahavani Tribe, protect your light and trust your intuition. Until next time, stay sovereign and keep shining.